Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Necrons revisited specially for 7th edition. So you all know I've got my Necron Learning Curve. That's in the archives there. I made that when it was 6th edition. It's still relatively current in terms of what it's all about, because 7th hasn't changed too much from 6th edition. But it is a learning curve. And I have been learning, obviously, as always, every game you play you do tend to learn something. So I've been learning quite a lot, I've been experimenting quite a lot, and I think it's now time, with 7th edition on the table, to maybe revisit some of the units and have another chat about them. And the first one I want to start with is the Monolith. Now, I've been playing a number of smaller games over the last few months, mainly because I've been playing with my son and because I've been playing some like 3-way games and some 4-way games. And I always use those type of games as opportunities to play units that I don't tend to play as much, and the Monolith being one of them. The Necron Learning Curve video really explains all about the stats and the tactics behind using the Monolith, and how I was using that. This video is more about how I view this particular tank now, rather than what it can do on the table. So yeah, basically I'm absolutely loving the Monolith now. I think it's a steal. 200 points, it's a bargain. It really, really is. It's an awesome tank. Armour 14 all round. 200 points, really cheap. It's fantastic, large item on the table to hide units. To hide units behind objectives if you want to hide units behind as you move and advance forward. Okay, yeah, it's only 6 inches. You do have the option to deep strike if you want to. 4 hull points, which is pretty good. There's not that many weapons, really, to be fair, around that can do that much damage to the Monolith. And to be fair, 200 points, even if it goes down, it's so what. It allows you to teleport units from reserve if you wish to. It allows you to teleport units that are on the table, which is amazing. Really useful for the 7th edition type of games where you're after objectives, tactical objectives, etc. I think the presence of the Monolith on the table is just fantastic, and I think it just matches the army. But the one key thing that I absolutely love about the Monolith is you don't have to have vehicle spam to take it. You can have one Monolith and the rest of your army on foot, and it doesn't matter. Because of that armour 14, because of the hull point, it sort of fits in the army so well, and it matches a foot list so well. Being able to teleport your foot troops around the table, giving them line of sight blocking terrain. Now, I can't say the same when I'm looking at Ghost Arcs or maybe Annihilation barges. I wouldn't turn up with a foot list and one Annihilation barge, or just one Ghost Arc. You've got to take those in multiples. You've got to have that AV-13 on the table, good presence. Otherwise, that 1 or 2 tanks that you've got is just going to get targeted with your opponent's, anti-tank stuff. But the Monolith, it can sort of almost cope with that. As I said, obviously, there's going to be some armies who are going to take it down a lot easier than others. But on the whole, it's a good little tank to have on the table. To the point that I'm actually thinking, I want more. I want more Monoliths. I want 2. I want 3 Monoliths. To be fair, I haven't got the storage or the money to buy that. I am looking on eBay though, because if I do find a bargain, I'm going to snap it up. Absolutely loving the Monolith now, and a total change probably from my previous learning curve videos. As I said, it's all about learning, and I'm definitely learning. I've always, I think I've got out of the mindset that I was in before. The mindset I was in before was how amazing the Monolith used to be, and how it was nerfed, and okay, yeah, dropped in points, but just wasn't as good as it used to be. And I think I've got over that hurdle, and I've accepted it for what it is, which is basically really cheap tank. It's armor 14, takes up a huge foot space on the board. It's really fun to play. The Portal of Exile, when it actually works, is really great. Okay, it's a bit unreliable, but it gives you that option. It adds a bit of fun to your army as well. And of course it's got that big, large template, and the Gauss Flux Arc's really useful. And if somebody does get a penetrating hit, you've got a chance now with the new charts of surviving, basically, not even taking a whole point if you can shrug them off with your whatever it's called, living metal. Yes, you know, those stun and shaken results, you've got a good chance of shaking those off, not even getting a whole point, not even being touched by a penetrating hit. How awesome is that? So yes, Monolith, I have to say, a huge thumbs up for me for the Monolith. Loving it. Really excited about playing the Monolith now. It's made it pretty much into all of my current lists. It's not going to make it into every one. You know, my Flayed One list is not going to end up with the Monolith in. But all of my standard type lists, it's making it in. Love it. Okay, more videos like this to come. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your opinions, let me know your experience. I know there's some people still don't like the Monolith, but also I've had a lot of comments and feedback about people who do love the Monolith as well. So let's hear your comments, and as usual, thanks for watching.